Welcome to the study of A-level psychology. In this video, we'll look at how behaviors explain phobias of any kind. By now, you should know the behavioral, cognitive, and emotional characteristics of what defines a phobia. But how does someone get a phobia? How does a phobia actually occur? Well, there are a few reasons why someone becomes phobic. But the main explanation is the behaviorist explanation, that is, we're conditioned into fear. In 1947, Maurer developed the two-process model, which uses both classical and operant conditioning. Let's take coulrophobia as an example. First step is acquisition. Something scaring you is our unconditioned stimulus, and fear is our unconditioned response. What? Now, imagine the thing that scared you was a clown. That's our neutral stimulus. However, by being scared by the clown, you associate the fear you feel, now the conditioned response, to the clown, now a conditioned stimulus. Congratulations! You now have a phobia of clowns! However, phobias are not just one and done cases. They're persistent, unrelenting, like my stalker. Why? That's where operant conditioning comes in. Negative reinforcement is when an unpleasant stimulus is removed, which makes the likelihood of that behavior reoccurring increase. Going back to Pennywise over here, people with coulrophobia would do anything to avoid coming into contact with the clown. We most commonly see this in the behavioral characteristic of avoidance. This negatively reinforces the phobia as the person removes the unpleasant fear felt by the presence of the clown. Now, is this explanation accurate? Research suggests yes. Watson and Rayner's Little Albert experiment in 1920 had Albert, an 11-month-old boy, exposed to a white rat, then a loud noise. Ah! Kind of like that. Over time, he began to fear not only the rat, but other white fluffy objects, like a white rabbit or even a Santa Claus beard. Imagine being afraid of a stranger breaking into your house to give you objects of your wildest dreams. That would be stupid. However, other research suggests that conditioning is not the only thing at play. Donato, in 1988, found that not everyone bitten by a dog develops cynophobia. This works the other way around. Not everyone with amaxophobia remembers being in a car crash. Another behaviorist adjacent theory is social learning. We become phobic through modeling. Badura and Rosenthal in 1966 had a model act in pain when a buzzer sounded. Honestly, I'd be the same. Those speech tee buzzers haunt my nightmares. The experiment found that participants exhibited an emotional response, which suggests that modeling can cause phobias. Finally, you can use any of the other approaches as an alternate explanation for phobias. The cognitive approach, for example, would suggest that someone with claustrophobia suffers from irrational thoughts in a situation. I will suffocate in this box.
Out of this house! Out of this house!
And this is what causes the fear associated with phobias. On screen now are a few questions I appropriated from my textbook, much like how I appropriated most of the content within this video from the internet. Focus your energy on answering the questions instead of figuring out how to sue me. Goodbye!